Welcome to the Rust Belt Revolution podcast, where we discuss everything from politics to pop culture.
I'm Nick.
And I'm John. We're two random guys from the Midwest. These are our thoughts and opinions, and nothing we say is meant to be taken as advice. Hope you enjoy the show. How's it going, Nick?
Another week, John. Another week.
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome to episode 5 of the Rust Belt Revolution podcast. I'm your co-host, John.
I'm your co-host, Nick.
And today we're talking about New Year's resolutions. So what do you got planned for the new year, Nick?
Well,
what are you hoping to get out of it?
First off, let me just say 2022 can get fucked.
I 100% agree.
You know, and I've said this like 3 years running now. But 2022 really just kind of put the fucking cherry on top for me. So For me, 2022 can really just get fucked. As far as what I have planned for 2023, basically doing everything to make it not like 2022.
Yep. I get that.
Yeah. So I was actually on Facebook and I saw Time Hop popped up, and it was a list of resolutions I had written back in 2016. And there was 20 of them, which was ridiculous. They were all basically just like every single one of those things on that list though was relevant, and it was all things at the time that I was like really interested in, focused on. So I feel like I'm gonna pick a few off that list and just really hone in on them.
Yeah.
They had a common theme. They were mostly like spend more time with my kids, meaningful time, you know.
Yeah.
Also try to become more knowledgeable. And the third one was basically be healthier. So those were the three main things. If I break down all 20, they all fit into one of those three things. It was health, being healthier, spending more time with my family, and becoming more knowledgeable through various things like reading, political activity, things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's
where I'm at.
That's I normally don't do New Year's resolutions. I kind of just think it's bullshit. It's, it's a new year, I'm going to change everything overnight. And that clearly has never worked for me. But I don't know. I know, like you said, 2022, it was not a good year. I was drowning in depression until October, which was fucking weird because I get seasonal depression like a motherfucker, and it usually hits the second week of October when it gets cold. And I won't say I've been happy, but I've been pretty okay for all of this winter so far. And it's weird and I don't understand it. But it's given me though. Well, it's great. I will take it. I will take okay over miserable any day of the week. I mean, I would love to be happy again, but that's going to require a lot of work, which is where my goal for 2023 is to just focus on the shit that I know helps me be happy. And so
2022 was sort of 2022 was a continuation of 2021. Those 2 years should basically just fit together. And you could even lump part of 2020 into those years. I can now say that I am firmly out of those years for the most part.
Yeah.
But they were that was like a period of hell for me. There was in the past 3 years, I've experienced more transition and more upheaval in my life than I have in a very, very, very long time. And so for me, it was very, very frustrating, very chaotic. It was a daily struggle. I'm still not quite to the point where I would say I'm not struggling, but
Yeah.
I'm still, but I'm doing much better than I was. Seasonal depression for me isn't really a huge issue. It's I do suffer from anxiety, and I have generalized anxiety disorder, and I do have a mood disorder, but I wouldn't call it seasonal depression. It's I do have some depression though, and I think for me, resolutions in the new year are sort of a way to just. It is definitely a lot of wishful thinking. I think a lot of the time, like it's for me, it's more about reflection and mindfulness
Yeah.
than it is about like setting concrete goals. It it is good to have goals, folks, and it is good to remind yourself of those goals daily. However, like like John said, you're waking up on New Year's Day and being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna somehow magically do these things." It's a bit self-deceiving, I would say. You have to find the wherewithal daily to work to make small steps towards those goals. And if you're not doing that 8 months from now, you know, it, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I feel like I'm just
Well,
rambling.
I think, well, I mean, for me, New Year's resolutions, I mean, every time I've made them, 2 weeks later, I'm so discouraged because I haven't done any of the shit that I wanted to do. And, I mean, and, that's my fault for not doing it. But it's, you make that list and you're so excited about it and you're gung ho and I'm going to do this. And, maybe you do it for a couple weeks or a month or even 2 months or half the year, whatever. At some point, most of those will fall off. And that's discouraging as hell. And so, I mean, here's the thing. I encourage everyone, keep it I mean, like you said, your list of 20 that's pretty excessive. I would say 5 max. Like, I mean, pick the things that will literally help make your life better and focus on those. And once you get those as a habit, I feel like it's a lot easier to add things on top later. Like,
Sure.
I mean,
So, do you like goals that are sort of broad, or do you like and that are sort of more like top of mind mindfulness sort of things, or do you like goals that are specific and measurable?
uh, for the most part, most of my goals are just kind of, uh, I like my one goal is I want to read every day. Uh, and uh, like I want to go back through and read the great books of the Western world. I want to start that over because uh, I was doing that pretty consistently for 2 years, and it helped. Like it was hard because they're hard to read, but it helped keep me uh, mentally fit, I guess. But so I'd like to go through those. I have no goals as far as how many of them I read. It's literally just I want to read for 20 minutes a day and, you know, do that. And, I'd like to read the Bible this year because I've never actually read the entire Bible. And but like as far as like I want to get back into shape, by the end of the year I'd like to weigh 200 pounds. I should be able to do that. I'm 55 pounds away, but I should be able to
Mhm.
put on 55 pounds in a year. I mean, I put on 30 pounds in 2 months during quarantine. So
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So it kind of depends on what it is. But those are two of my goals. Another one is I want to be more mindful. So I got a mindfulness journal. I plan on doing that every morning, and I need to meditate. So mainly my things I have found, uh, you know, having a healthy lifestyle, reading difficult things, and meditating and being mindful. Those three things improve my mental state so much that if I'm doing those things, I will automatically start doing the other things that I would normally put on a resolution list is, keep my house clean or, uh, you know, uh, take my daughter to the park during the summer every day because that is something that I struggle with when I'm miserable.
Yeah.
is um but like, spending time with my daughter, I love spending time with her all the time. Like even when I am miserable, I love spending time with her. But the things that she wants to go do are not things that I normally want to do at all. But if
Right.
I'm but if I'm doing the things that I know help make me a better person, I have no problem taking her out to the park or taking her out hiking and ice cream after or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
everything else just falls into place when I'm focused on those three areas of my life. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of the same for me, when I'm doing everything that I know I should be doing, everything else sort of just falls into place.
Yeah.
And it's tough though, there's only so much time in the day.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing worse than having gotten to the end of the day and being like, I wish I had another 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that is such a horrible feeling.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because you're working so like I've got two jobs.
Yeah.
I'm working two jobs. So like Thursdays and Fridays, I literally work from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's 2 days a week that are gone from
Yep.
my life. And so I really only have Saturday, Monday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So
Yeah.
I have a 5 day week,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Well, that's I work second shift. So during the week, I don't see Emmy. I wake her up and I bring her to school. And so I see her for half hour in the morning, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday.
Yeah.
And that kills me. So,
Yeah.
you know, the one specific goal I have for this year, and it's not even a New Year's resolution, it's just something that I've been planning for the last couple months. I want to take her to Disney World for a week. And so, sometime this fall, if I have the money, like if I could save up the money and buy the tickets and rent a house because it's cheaper than a hotel and
Yeah.
it'll be way more comfortable. But that's like my big goal because Emmy's big enough now she can ride all the rides and she's old enough that she will probably be able to remember all of it. Well, maybe
Mhm.
not all of it, but she'll remember parts of it anyway. So that's
That's where we were at with our kids too about not wanting to take them to like
yeah.
do the big things like that is we wanted them to be of an age that it would be meaningful,
Yep.
and they would remember it. And I think we're there.
Yeah.
We're actually to the point now where I think Dimitri may be a bit old for enjoying parts of Disney
How old is
just
he?
because well, he's a sixth grader. He's into like Fortnite and like I don't know.
Well, and I'm trying to I think it was 2001 that we went. So I would have been 12, maybe. uh, I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I don't know.
You know when I went there, John? I went there in 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back then it was a little bit different. I don't
Oh
really
yeah.
remember a whole lot. I remember I saw, I think it was called Captain EO or Captain Neo. It was like a Michael Jackson, like a Michael Jackson 3D thing at Epcot,
Okay.
and they had I feel like it was at Epcot, and then there was this like Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing that was there.
They still
Um,
had that when I went.
did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, and I've been to Animal Kingdom when I was in high school too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, I figure I'll get the 4 park pass, and GM offers a discount on it, so I get
Oh, perfect.
I get like $80 off a 4-day pass. So
That's awesome.
yeah, dude, I hate my job because I hate it, but I have hated every job I've ever had. But I
Every
can't
job
compl-
sucks.
I can't complain about the benefits I get.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like I said,
You know what, John? I want to be a fucking farmer.
dude, here's the thing. I
I want to be a farmer.
every day I want to just start a fucking commune. It's
Yeah,
just
me too.
like just get a bunch of random people with a bunch of different skill sets, and
Just work for myself.
we'll just live together, on 40 acres or whatever, and
You know
just
that
farm.
I talk about this way too often, man. Like I swear to God, I talk about it way too often. Me and my buddy Cole, like he's my best friend, for the most part. We talk about this all the time because he's single and he's been looking for a house, and we've got another friend, who's kind of in this similar situation, and then you have my wife and I and our kids, and her and I are very like-minded in this regard, and like we all wish we could just go grab like 100 acres, divide it up, and fucking grow our own food and
Yep.
do our own shit. Like that's
Oh
I
yeah.
talk about it all the time.
Oh, I mean, at some point, I mean,
New
dude,
Year's resolutions
oh yes,
start today.
oh yeah, I have the goal of trying to drink a gallon of water a day. Uh, it's hard to do, and I spend a lot of the time in the bathroom.
I drank this. I drank this yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to drink 2 of these,
Yep.
and I'm not even. I have catching up to do. It's already 11. Yeah, I should already be. I should already be down to here.
Oh yeah. I
So
here's
I have some catching up to do.
here's the thing. I have found, as far as drinking water goes, the best way that I can do it is I have two 32-ounce bottles. I got to drink both of them twice to get a gallon.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I will fill one up the night before, like when I go to bed, and I will put it on my nightstand, and I leave the lid off so the water is room temperature when I wake up, and I will chug that entire thing on the edge of my bed, and that's how I start my day as far as drinking water goes. Because
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing: I just went 2 months probably, and I did not drink a single sip of water. It was pop and energy drinks the entire time.
Yeah, me too.
And I felt it. Holy shit. It
Yeah.
was awful. And
I went years without drinking energy drinks
yeah.
and really just drinking coffee for
Yep.
caffeine, and
Oh yeah.
the occasional pop, years without drinking energy drinks. I still drink pop now and then,
Yeah.
but no energy drinks. And then all of a sudden, this past year, energy
Yep.
drinks somehow crept back into my life.
Oh
And it
yeah.
was I was drinking like a bunch of energy drinks this past year, and my kidneys, like, I feel like I shouldn't know where they are, but I do. Like,
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have kidney stones now because I shot one out at work the one day, and that was quite
oh
unpleasant. Here's the thing.
man.
I don't know if it was a kidney stone, but it was a little black round thing, and it hurt.
Came out my pee hole.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. My dad had kidney stones, and he
Oh,
would
so
sit
did
on the
mine.
toilet. He would sit on the toilet for half an hour, 45 minutes, and you could hear him across the house. And I did not have that. I had
Fuck, dude.
I had to take a piss. I was standing there, like, why is it not working? So I pushed a little bit, and it went tink, and I went ugh. And then I was uncomfortable for the next 3 or 4 hours, and then I was fine. So
Bro. Bro,
I don't know.
I can't. Like,
Oh, dude,
my
I
can't.
need to drink. Dude, that day I was like, yep. I filled up my water bottle.
Yup.
I was like, we're drinking water from now on. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh. So I need to go to the doctor and see if there's any more in there, because that one was unpleasant, but it wasn't super painful. And I have to imagine if there's more in there, it could get really painful.
Yeah. My dad had kidney stones when it was the year I met Felicia. I was 19, and I didn't have a license, but he woke me up at like, it was like 7:30 in the morning, maybe 8, and he was on his knees.
Yeah.
He woke me up, and I've never seen my dad in such a helpless form in my entire life.
Yeah.
He was on his knees, nearly in tears,
Oh, yeah.
and the grimace on his face.
Ooh.
Oh my god, dude! Like, he's like, Nick, you gotta bring me to the hospital. You gotta bring me to the hospital right now. He handed me the keys. I had never really driven. I would, and I don't even think the vehicle had plates or registration at the time. And
Yeah.
I drove my dad to the ER, and I think I was hungover. Like, I was really fucked up.
Yeah.
But my buddy, my best friend, his mom, was a nurse, was one of the nurses at the ER, and I knew her really well. And so I went up to the counter, and I'm like, I put my dad in a chair, because he was like slumped over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to speak to this person, is she here? Because I knew she could help get him through triage, because the wait's
Right.
usually ridiculous. And they
Oh,
got
yeah.
him in right away. Anyway, and she came out, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Nick," and we'll take care of him. But yeah, he had to be like, I don't know exactly what they did. I think they put him in one of those ultrasonic baths
Yeah.
or whatever that try to like loosen him up or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I don't ever want to experience it. It's not something I ever want to. I know it's very common, but I don't ever want to have to experience that.
Oh, dude, like I said, I can't say for sure that's what it was. I need to go to my doctor and check. I just assume, because it was either that or a blood clot. And I don't
Yeah.
know why it would be a blood clot.
Yeah. I
So,
will say I have had the fuck's it called? Epididymitis.
oh, I've had that too. That's worse.
And that fucking hurts, bro. Like,
Oh, dude, that
I had
one.
to drive 2 hours to go to my mother-in-law's. When I had that, I had to sit on her
Oh,
couch and in her living room and just try not to move because like the slight graze it was
oh,
fucking making my stomach feel like I had to puke.
dude, here's the thing. When I got it, I I was working second shift, and about an hour before, well, I don't know, right before I had to leave for work, me and my wife had some sexy time, but I ran out of time to finish. And so I went into work, and it started to hurt. And I was like, I got blue balls really bad. This is the worst I've ever had them. And dude, I did my whole 8-hour shift. And at one, like, I don't know, 2 hours in, it felt like someone had kicked me in the nuts
Yeah.
consistently. Like, it felt like that for the entire shift. And I worked, and it was awful. And I got out of work, and I drove straight to the fucking ER. and I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I am dying. So the
Yeah.
nurse ultrasounded my nuts, which was just a
Yep.
fun experience.
Super awkward.
Oh, dude, that was
super awkward.
it's like I've
What's
never
even more
felt.
awkward? What's even more awkward is when there's a dude who's a student ultrasounding your nuts,
Oh,
and there's a lady doctor watching him, making sure he's doing it right.
oh yes, that's
Yeah,
oh, dude, that was the most awkward hospital experience of my life.
yeah, mine too,
And they
by
gave
far.
me, I don't even remember what pills they gave me. They gave me some
Yeah,
Norco though,
yeah.
and that was my first experience with prescription painkillers, and that was fun.
Oh boy, yeah, that was a rough experience.
I
Listen to
don't
Year's
recommend
resolutions. Don't get epididymitis.
that every year. That's at the top of the list.
Yeah. Oh,
But
fucking sucks. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this, like, you don't even know, like, this fucking, yeah, but
oh, I here's the thing. I'm not saying I've had a lot of shit go terribly wrong in my life, but what I've had go wrong, I would rather not relive.
yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of those.
But got a little sidetracked there.
Yeah, it's definitely a sidebar. I don't even know. Oh, we were talking about drinking water. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's why.
And then that turned into kidney stones, which then turned into my nuts hurt.
Oh yes. Welcome to the podcast, folks. But
Yep.
I don't know. As far
I
as
think I think spending time with my kids in a more meaningful way this year is something, because, like, we'll hang out and stuff, we'll all be in the same room, but screen time has become a
oh,
problem,
dude, it's awful.
and it's become a real serious issue, and I don't know what to really do about screen time, because I know it's a problem, but how, and this is maybe a subject for another day, like, I don't want to get into another massive crazy sidebar, but, like, as a resolution, I have to figure out a way to spend more meaningful time with the kids, and
Yep.
try to limit screen time, because we gotta get outdoors. We gotta
Oh yeah.
find more creative things to do with each other. I have a ton of board games. A lot of them I haven't even opened, so I'd
Yeah.
like to really dive into all the board games.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Emmy is on her phone all the time. And we just got her a laptop for Christmas. So she's been playing on that nonstop. And I mean, here's the thing. I don't really feel like I need to limit her screen time because she is smart as all fuck. Like, she is way smarter than I was at that age. And
yeah.
I have to credit YouTube University for that one, because I mean, here's the thing. Most of the shit she watches is god awful. It's grown fucking adults doing dumbass shit with
Right.
ball pit balls and foam, and just I hate
Elephant
all of it.
toothpaste. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's awful. But I mean, dude, she knew her colors at 2. And I mean, I didn't teach her colors.
Yeah.
I mean, like, actually, it might have been earlier. I don't remember. It was when she was first babbling. She knew this is rouge, orange. like she knew all the colors. She knew her numbers. And, when she was young like that, we would put on the videos for her if she wanted to watch something. So we would choose, I don't even remember the names of the shows on YouTube, but the kids shows that are educational. And
so the other day, my middle son, who's in 5th grade, was like, someday I really want to go to China and see the Great Wall of China. And it was in the context of a conversation about going to travel or going to visit Japan.
yeah.
So he goes, well, my middle son goes, well, while we're there, we should see the Great Wall of China. And then my oldest son corrected him and was like, the Great Wall of China isn't in Japan, stupid idiot. Like Japan's an island.
Yeah.
It's a different country. It was just kind of funny to to hear my older son correcting my younger son,
Yeah.
and like then him being correct and knowledgeable.
Right.
It was funny. It was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, that's dude. Emmy has corrected me on things, and I'm just like, oh, you're right. Which, I mean, here's the thing. I am not the most ah. Hold on, folks. Nick just disconnected. There you are.
something happened.
That was weird. But uh I will do my best to cut that out. I don't know that I'll be able to.
I apologize. I clicked something.
But yeah, I am not one to pretend I know something if I don't. I am very honest. I'm way too honest. But I Emmy will correct me on things, and I'm like, I don't think you're right. And she's like, look it up, or she'll Google it a lot of the time. And I'm like, oh, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very humbling experience when your 8-year-old knows things that you probably should.
It's definitely my youngest, who's the same age, is likes to try to correct me on a lot of things, but I try to put him in his place, be like, no, dad knows best.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Emmy loves playing outside, which I encourage as much as I can. Like I said,
Yeah.
last year I struggled with everything. I was a wreck for most of the year. And
Yeah.
I did not do nearly enough with her. I only took her to the beach once. I didn't take her hiking at all, which she enjoys every time we do it. So, I mean, that is a big thing for me this year, is spend way more time with her this summer. Like I said, I don't see her much during the school year, but even on the weekends when I do see her, I want to start taking her to like museums and shit.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I want to go out and do things with her so she has memories. Cause at this point, I don't know how many core memories she has with me. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't done very much stuff with her. And I definitely want that to be. I would like her to remember her childhood like I remember my childhood. My childhood was fucking amazing. And like, as fucked up as I am, you'd think I'd had a really fucked up childhood, but I didn't. I didn't get fucked up till I was like 20.
Yeah. I think my childhood wasn't as pleasant, maybe, but I'm trying to make theirs better.
Yeah.
They have not, knock on wood, experienced any significant trauma.
Yeah.
You know, eh, I can't say the same. By the time
Yeah.
I was their age, I had already seen and heard far too much.
Yeah.
So it's I'm happy about that. And I think that as long as we keep doing what we're doing, they'll be fine. And they've
Yeah.
all got good heads on their shoulders, and there's things that I would like to do for sure. There
Yeah.
are things that are lacking. Like we, because of me, and this is me, I operate. Okay, so this is something like I've had to work out through therapy. Like
Yeah.
I am a person who operates in worst case scenarios. I plan in worst case scenarios. And the problem with that is I have this sort of very unadventurous mentality where, like, I don't want to travel too far from home because I'm afraid of like not having the money to make it back, or like, vehicles breaking down,
Yeah.
things like that. Like I don't trust, I don't trust it. So it makes it very hard to really go anywhere or do anything. And that's something I've really started trying to change. We've taken more like day trips and, gone and done more things. Um, but I'd like to actually do some significant traveling with family and see
Yeah.
some things. And we've talked about going to like Wisconsin Dells and doing like some water park stuff. But I'd also like to go to like the Field Museum in Chicago,
Yeah.
and there's I want to go to and take my wife to Door County in Wisconsin, and and do some stuff there. And those are all just things that are accessible in my
Yeah.
region. We've also talked about going to Canada and driving down through Canada to like Toronto and then down to Niagara.
Okay.
So I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
I have a brother who's getting ready to be transferred from his base in Alaska to Georgia, and my grandpa lives in Florida. So it would be nice to get down south and see family, and maybe go to Savannah, and then hit up my grandpa near Panama City, and then head down to Disney.
oh yeah. Well, that's I mean, I very much, like I said, I want Emmy to have a good memory of her childhood. Like, I mean, and I know for me, a lot of it is just my parents spoiled the shit out of me. Uh, they're still married, been married for 50 years now, 51. And I was brought up with a very strict Christian upbringing. And, there were spankings and stuff. And I know that's considered child abuse now. And I still can't wrap my head around that one. I mean, I don't spank Emmy. I've spanked her twice, I think, and both times she was being disrespectful to her mom. And that was just something that I can't allow that one. Like, that's your mom. You don't talk back. You don't do that. And
yeah, that's a big no-no for me too.
I mean, that's the two times I spanked her. It was she said some off the wall stuff to my ex-wife. And it was funny because the one time it was after the divorce. It was like she was my ex-wife and we were not getting along at the time. And I was like, no, you don't say anything about your mom like that. That's not okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't whoop her. I just, I made sure she felt it a little bit. And then I explained to her why. And, I tried to do it in the healthiest way I could, but I wanted to reinforce you don't do that.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I may have been in the wrong. I don't know.
No, I mean, no, I don't think so. I personally, I have spanked my boys. I have 3 boys. I don't. It's hard, man. Like, you don't do it. I've never spanked. I swear to God, I've never spanked my kids like out of anger.
Yeah,
I have been angry while I've spanked my kids, but I've never hit them like from a position of anger. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. Like, you can be frustrated and angry about something your child's done and still know that what you're doing is discipline and not violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I would describe it, because it should come from a place of love.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds, instead of a place of anger,
well, I mean, dude, here's the thing. I felt awful doing it. I mean,
yeah. You never want to have to do it. It's not something that's
well. And, I mean, Emmy. She is the most adorable little girl
she is
ever. And dude, she just
I would not want to. I would not.
It was. I felt so bad. And here's the thing: as soon as I was done spanking her, I picked her up, I hugged her, I gave her a kiss, and I sat her on my lap, and I explained to her, "We don't do that. This is not okay. I don't want to spank you ever again. Please don't do it again." And she did it again, a year or two later, and I spanked her. And that was the last time. And she was, I don't know, 5 probably. Yeah. So, I mean, it's been 3 years, and she does not disrespect her mom anymore, which is awesome because I don't want to do that again. When she's 13, I'm going to have to figure something out because I don't think spankings work after a certain point.
They don't. Trust me. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually spanked my kids, like, because I don't know. It's been a while. Like,
Yeah.
my youngest son was probably the last one I spanked, though. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
And my youngest son, because the older two, like, they haven't gotten a spanking in, God, years.
Yeah.
You know, my my youngest son, though, he's a mischief, and he's a hard learner.
Oh yeah.
So you combine those two things, and, like, yeah, I don't necessarily think that I know I know this sounds weird, like, wrong, like, from a
Yeah.
modern parenting perspective, because there's probably, like, psychological evidence to, like, show this is incorrect. But I believe that, you know spankings are just something that we've done as a species. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that, like, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's something that's gone on for a long, 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 long time. Like,
Yeah.
you spank your kids. It's just, I got my ass beat, but everybody got their ass beat before them. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can remember once for sure that my dad took the belt off, and that sucked. And I still remember it. I don't even remember what I did. I remember the spanking though.
Yeah.
And it
My dad spanked my ass a lot. He threatened the belt a lot. Never
yeah.
actually used it.
It was one time, and I want to say I talked back to my mom, and I want to say I cussed her out
Yeah.
is what I think I did. But
I did receive a non-spanking one time. My ex stepdad, he I backtalked my mom, and it
yep.
was like, I think I said something I don't remember exactly what I said to her. I remember I was in 5th grade, so I was my middle son's age at this point, and he came home, didn't even he didn't even come in the house. He parked his Ford F-350, went directly into the pole barn, sawed off a hunk of 2x4, and
Oh,
then came right into and he's a carpenter. Dude's hands are as big as my fucking head. Like, he
yeah.
comes directly into the house and just fucking told me to bend over the piano, because we had one of those upright pianos.
Yeah.
I bent over the piano, dude, and he gave me like fucking 10 solid licks with a 2
Oh.
by 4 across my ass.
Oh.
And oh God, did it hurt.
Oh yeah. That
And
it
that, I feel like that's a step too far.
That's a little too far. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I would
I think,
never. I couldn't.
yeah,
I couldn't. Dude, here's the
no.
thing. I like I said, I spanked Emmy. I didn't do it very hard. It was enough that she would feel it, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, here's the thing. I am not an aggressive person at all. Like, I've never been in a fight. I never want to get in a fight.
Yeah.
I just I don't want to cause harm to anyone or anything ever. I had to kill a bunch of squirrels that were getting in my house, and every time I killed one, I felt bad about it. Like, I do not have a violent bone in my body. There's no
Yeah.
way I could beat a child. It's just impossible.
Parenting for me has taken a big turn in the past, like, year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, I would say I was a pretty decent parent. I've tried to be a much better parent than I don't want to make this sound I don't want to make this sound bad. I think, like, I love my parents, and I think my parents did the best they could with the tools
Yeah.
that they had, the tools
Yep.
that they were given. Do I always think that they did the best that they could? No, I don't. I
Right.
think that sometimes they were selfish, but I do love my parents, and I don't want to bad talk them. But the goal of every generation should be to do better than the last.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've obviously tried to correct a lot of things that I feel were mistakes with my upbringing, and I would say I'm a decent parent. But in the past year and a half, I've worked at a school. And working at a school, I've not just working at a school, but also working with special needs kids at school. Working with special needs kids has given me a completely different outlook on like parenting, not just parenting, but it's given me more patience.
Yeah.
Like I have experienced I feel like a new level of patience that I never had before,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's
So
girl I dated last year. She had a son that was autistic, and he was pretty high functioning. I mean, really high functioning. But he had his little tics that were annoying as shit. But it's not his fault. And dude,
yeah,
he was dude, I love that kid. That kid was awesome.
yeah.
I mean, like, dude, I think the third time I was over there, I was sitting on the couch and he just crawled up next to me and just cuddled into me. And I'm like, okay. Like,
Mhm.
I love I had a class in college where I had to come up with a program for physical activity for uh I think she was 29 and she was I don't remember if she had Down syndrome or if she was autistic, but she was pretty she didn't talk, she just made sounds and
Nonverbal, yeah.
yeah, nonverbal. And it was a struggle because I had never been around anyone with mental disability like that. And but dude, I had a lot of fun trying to figure out like I mean, it got to the point where we would just race across the gym nonstop for 45 minutes the entire time. But the entire time she would just be laughing her ass off and just having a ball. And I fucking I like I said, I feed off other people's happiness. So like she was enjoying herself, I was having a blast. I'm like, all right, let's just fucking run. I don't I'm
Yeah,
like, I mean, I was supposed to come up with, you know, different things for her to do every day and this and that, but that's what she wanted to do. That's what she enjoyed doing. That's what we did.
nice.
And
That's awesome.
dude, that was one of my best. That was the one class in college that I'm glad I took because I got that experience, and that was fun.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I've worked with a few different students now who are, you know, different types of cognitive and behavioral challenges, and you know, including one that was, you know, that's autistic, and it's you know, it's changed my outlook on so many things. I can't even begin to tell you, like, and that rolls back into like my new outlook for 2023, and like, you know, like my resolutions for this year and mindfulness is just like this experience of working with these kids has given me it helped me
oh
honestly.
yeah,
I don't know that I would have gotten through last year without the kids that I worked with. And that I said this at the end of the school year, you know, last year going into the summer. I said these kids have helped me as much as I hope I've helped them,
yeah,
because it is life changing
yep,
working with people like that.
oh
So
yeah. That's
yeah.
I mean, I like I said, that had the most impact on me of anything in college except for meeting Wendy. So
Yeah.
I mean, my ex-wife for anyone who doesn't know. But uh that was I mean, dude, the Native Americans with mentally challenged uh individuals, they thought they were the highest level of uh enlightenment or whatever you could get because they were the closest to children. And
Yeah.
you know, it was whatever, they're right there in the moment, they're not thinking about anything else, it's just what's happening right now. And that perspective on life to me is amazing. And
Yeah.
that's where I do like I said, the meditation and the mindfulness. When I do that and I just focus on right now instead of worrying about tomorrow or next week or the next couple months, I am so much happier and just so much less stress, and it's amazing.
Yeah. We practice mindfulness at school with the kids, and that's something for 2023 I want to really focus on, like, is just taking time to be intentional,
Yep.
and with eating, with everything, just being intentional, being in the moment, and trying to just be focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's I would like to get my little girl meditating. I don't know that she could sit down for more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time.
Mhm.
But, you know, it's something. I mean, as much as it has helped me, I would like to make that part of her life for her when she gets older, because it's something I definitely was missing for the last 30 years, is like just living in the moment. Because
Yeah.
my entire life I've always thought about, oh, what comes next, and or oh, I can't stop thinking about this thing that happened in the past, and it does not work.
Yeah, I know. You got to try not to get down on yourself as much
Yeah.
as it's easier said than done. But like,
Oh yes.
you really got to try not to get down on yourself. Like, you got to not be your own worst enemy,
Yep.
because if you're not rooting for yourself,
Oh yeah.
no one is. I mean, you gotta try to pick yourself up.
Yep. Well, I mean, like I said, all my resolutions are to be a better person and like just
Yeah.
be better version of myself. And the main motivation for that is my little girl. I mean,
Mhm.
Emmy gives me, I mean, out of everything, she's the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I got to be the best I can be for her.
Yep. Feel the same way about my boys, but also, also for my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Her and I have had our struggles, and being a better husband and working on myself has always been something that I've tried to do. But in the past couple of years, it's it's been increasingly difficult. So this year I want to take a lot of the things I've learned the past couple of years and really just run with them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
try to encourage her and lift her up more than I have in the past, and make sure that she's celebrated. You know, I think when you're in a long-term relationship, it's easy to get complacent. It's really
Yep.
easy to forget about a lot of things that you take for granted.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just something that I think happens when you've got kids and you're busy.
Oh, yeah.
Time goes by quick.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Well, that's,
and that's something that's very unfortunate. There's a lot of mistakes I've made I wish I could take back, and I can't. And
yeah.
it's can't get time back.
Nope. Well, I mean, I remember when my little girl was that big.
Yeah.
So the fact
Why?
that the fact that she is almost up to my shoulders now is just, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I actually, for those listening, I just recently saw her, and I was shocked.
Oh,
Not just at like how intelligent she's growing to be, but just you know, she's the cutest little thing, and she's getting so big. you
so
know,
so big.
Seeing
And
her and my son, who are the same age, next to each other, it was a trip.
oh, dude, I could believe how big all your boys have gotten. That's just,
Yeah. Yep.
uh,
Dimitri's gotten huge. I remember when he was just a little tiny thing.
oh, dude, it goes so fast, and I mean, well, and I figure
Yeah.
I got 10 years till she's 18, and goes to college or starts doing her own thing. And I realized she's going to start doing her own thing way before that. But, you know, I got 10 years of her at home.
Dude, Dimitri's 12. I have 6.
Oh, God.
Isn't that crazy? He's going
I
to be
can't-
18 in 6 years.
How are we this old?
How are we this old, John?
God damn it.
Yeah. Nuts. Well,
But
yeah, I don't have anything else for New Year's resolutions. I'm resolved to be a better person this year and to make myself more knowledgeable and to spend more time with my family.
yep, I am right there with you. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, dude, working on yourself is that's comes down to the best resolution you can make is just, and like, I mean, my little brother focuses on the money. I need to make more money this year, and he wants to be a millionaire before he's 40 and all
That's
that.
good.
And
That's a good
I
goal
mean,
to
dude,
have.
here's the thing. He's power to him. I hope he gets it.
Yeah.
I just, to me, there's more to life than that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're being a good person and being healthy and spending time with your family, I feel like the money just kind of comes. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that's the case.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said,
Yeah.
when I'm doing the right things, everything else seems to just fall into place. And that's how it's been my whole life. Every time I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
everything else works out. So
Yeah. I spent 6 years chasing money and promotions and trying to make myself more professionally successful, and all I got for it was not very much. I got
Yeah.
a lot of missed time with my family and a lot of stress and a lot of I guess mental health concerns.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry for another day.
Oh
This
yeah.
has been New Year's resolutions. Fuck 2022. on to bigger and better things in 2023. This is your co-host
Definitely.
Nick.
All
Signing
right.
off.
And this is John signing off. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Rust Belt Revolution podcast. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any questions for John and I, please leave a comment. If you like the podcast, please share and leave a review.